What is Microsoft Fabric? We have all heard that it is an end-to-end analytical solution from Microsoft. But before diving into the Microsoft Fabric and understanding that, let's firstly understand what is an analytical solution and what we used before Fabric. So I call this, period of time pre-Fabric data analytics solution, because with having Fabric in place, really, maybe some organization just make the decision to go with Fabric. So in the pre-Fabric data analytical solutions, in the left side, as you can see, we have the transactional databases, transactional data, where we basically store our transactional records. When we want them to be analyzed, we move them to the data lake. We can use Azure Data Factory. From the IoT point of view, we use the Azure Stream Analytics to have the streaming data. And we also have some platforms that have different components in it, like Azure Synapse Analytic, that is a massive thing and a scalable one. We also have the Azure Databricks and also Azure HD Insight to work with big data in Azure Hadoop clusters. And at the end of the day, we have the Power BI and data flows to just transform the data and make use of those data for creating the reports and visualizing them. So as you can see, we used different vendors, and it is a bit complex. So when you want to start a data analytics solution, it's going to be a question for you: what tool should I use, and what is going to be about licensing? If I create my data lake, for example, in Azure Data Lake, and I want to use that, I have to have another subscription for Power BI, for example, and grab the data from there, or with the other services. So, and about the security also. So Microsoft Fabric just came in to resolve this complexity, and it is going to simplify the solution for analytical projects. First of all, we should say Microsoft Fabric is a software as a service. But hey, Merda, what is software as a service? What is SaaS? Let's check it out quickly. This famous, comparison. When it comes to having computer-based resources and solutions, we will talk about these different levels of management of the resources. So let's just talk about on-premises for now. When you want to start a create an application, right? So you need a server, you need a server room, you need rack, you need the computers, you need power, you need whatever, right? You need licensing of the OS, and all are going to be managed and maintained by yourself. So cloud came in and just covered some part of that in infrastructure as a service. So they are going to take care of some of the resources like visualization, servers, storage, networking. You should not be worried about the temperature of a server room, right? The next level would be platform as a service. So it resolved other stuffs, just let me give you an example. For infrastructure as a service, it can be virtual machines that we use in Azure. And in platform as a service, as I mentioned in the previous slide, Azure Synapse Analytics is part of the platform as a service that you're going to manage your application and data yourself. And we also have another level, which is software as a service, that everything is going to be managed by the cloud provider. In this case, it is Microsoft. And Some examples of them could be the Microsoft Teams that you're using every day, or Outlook. So I hope you got it. So it is a SaaS. For Microsoft Fabric, we have a centralized storage, which is called One Lake. It is basically a single unified and a logical data lake, actually, that is sitting and as is available across all organization. So if it means that if you need the data in the whole organization, you don't have to copy that for each department, right? And everything will be in one place. You're gonna have one copy of your data. You will have one security for the whole data. So it is a great thing to do, and different workspaces can make use of the same data lake. And the experiences and the tools that are available in Microsoft Fabric are going to make use of this One Lake. The first component that I want to talk about is Data Factory, which is basically used for data integrations. So when we want to move the data into Fabric from the external resources. And it is basically a combination of Azure Data Factory and Data Flow in Power BI. So we use the Azure Data Factory for its scalability, for scalable data, and the power of transforming of data in data flow. So it is a great thing, really. And there is also something else from Synapse, for data engineering, that it includes a Spark platform for doing the data transformation and processing the data in actually at the scale. So as you know, Synapse is was made for scale, right? And if a big compute is required in the behind the scene, it is going to scale up. It is not needed, it is going to scale down. So it is a good thing to have. The next item that I've got here is Synapse Data Science, that you can basically use some languages like Python for creating the data models to be used for machine learning, and actually to model the data and using machine learning flows. The other component here is Synapse Data Warehousing. For this one, we've got it is one place to store the data in SQL, and which this SQL is very optimized for the data warehousing, and which for data warehousing we are not writing and reading every single time. It is mostly for reading, right? So it is very optimized for that purpose and for large volume of the data. The next component is Synapse Real-Time Analytics. So Fabric provides us with this opportunity to work, with the real-time data that is coming from like streaming data, or we can make use of event hubs to just bring the data in, analyze it, and store it somewhere else, right? The next item, of course, is Power BI. We use that for business intelligence side of the thing, and for creating the just visualizing the data, making use of all of those analyzed data, and it can just have a direct query on the One Lake or the data sources within Fabric, and just basically making the data to decision by creating the visualizations, creating the graphs and reports. We have a fantastic tool here, which is a data activator that was released recently, and being available in general. So this data activator is basically looking at, it is basically for automating the some actions, and it is basically looking at the behavior of data. For example, if a data of a measure, a value of measure exceeds a certain amount or a certain rate, it can just trigger an action. For example, an action can be triggered to execute a power platform flow, for example. So it is a good thing for the automation, and there will be a no-code experience in data activator. Microsoft Fabrics also provides the industry solutions that is very specific for some industries, that there are some pre-built data solutions for some industries like retail, healthcare, and ESG. So either they can just use that for managing their data, processing that, and also report on them and analyzing them. These are the main components of Microsoft Fabric. And we also have Copilot there. However, it is in preview. The industry solution is also in preview in some regions. And for Copilot, Copilot can be utilized across all, Microsoft Fabric. And basically, we have the, for example, for Data Factory, you can generate the codes. You can generate the, formula in Dataflow, for example, or even you can, generate the reports and graphs in Power BI. You can use them and use that in data science for generating the code. It is Copilot. It is not autopilot, right? It is going to help us. And the last one that I want to talk about in Microsoft Fabric is Microsoft Purview, which was an existing service in Microsoft to have a governance on the data and just control the data governance and manage that. So it is also in